Okay, good morning everybody. I have to apologize. I had my mic receiver battery ran out yesterday and lost connection with my GoPro. I did not realize this all throughout the last segment of the video, so I apologize for that. We're back, fresh start today. We're going to be doing another drawer. I'm gonna give you a quick glimpse. Thought I had audio all day yesterday and did not at the end of the day. So, a little embarrassing on my part. Anyway, got the other drawer in. Let me remove some of this junk out of here that I just don't have room for right now. Anyway, this is the bottom drawer. It is in. On the easy glides. Closes. Nice and soft. I still have a few little adjustments that I need to do on it, but that's it in its entirety so far. We're going to be building and putting in this top drawer today. Already have the drawer glides in. Got those done. We're going to build this top drawer and go down with the 7/16 ply. It's not pretty, but it's purposeful. So it's going to work great for what I'm actually doing here. This is not a showpiece. This is not a customer's piece. So I'm not too awful worried about that part of it. It's in my shop. Doesn't have to look good, just has to work. Anyway, we're going to get busy on that. Get these cut down. Get the bottom panel cut in. Get it glued up, tacked together, and get it in place. Appreciate you guys stopping in today. And thanks for coming back to Fab and Build. I'm Ron. See you in a minute. Okay, so we've got our pieces cut down. I've got two pieces at 21 1/8 long for the sides. And I have my front and back pieces cut. They are going to be 20, before I lie to you, here, hang on. 23 5/8. That actually gives me the perfect, excuse me, can't even talk. The perfect amount between my drawer glides, so I'm not pressing too hard against them and making it real stiff and hard to pull out, or too loose to where they won't grab in, and then you put stuff in it and then the drawer falls out one side. You don't have much wiggle room between too big and too small on these, so you always need to make sure that you're real careful about measuring. Make sure that you're if you're a little bit too big, barely trim it down. If you're a little too small, cut another piece. That's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, we're back. We had to set up the sawhorses over here, and I had to pull out the Festool track saw, cut down our piece so we would have a piece more manageable to put on the table saw. I've got it cut at 24 inches this way. Again, my bottom plate, read this off to you real quick. I think I may have mentioned it, maybe not. So the bottom plate, total size is going to be 22 11/16 by 21 1/8. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to reset this real quick. I'm going to cut this at 21 1/4, then trim off this end to 21 1/8. Then I'm going to cut this down to 22 11/16 since this is 24. So we're going to readjust on that real quick. Give me a second. And what did I say? 21 1/8. So I need 21 1/4. That way I can trim off any old factory edge, make it nice and smooth. Always cut your pieces a little larger than you actually need them, just a little bit. Always account for waste in your projects. 10% waste may seem like a bit much, but if you allow for between 6 and 10% of your waste on your projects, you'll always have clean cut pieces. So you'll have good edges. You won't have to depend on a factory edge. It might be chipped out, whatever. Anyway, so let's get busy on this. And that will be the drawer bottom for the next one. So I'm going to cut this down. Here's my factory edge. Now what I'm going to do is take this to 21 1/8. Double check myself to make sure I'm cutting this right and don't mess up. So 21 1/4 down to 21 1/8. We're going to trim that factory edge off and get rid of that. So now we're after, what did I say? 22 11/16. So we're going to say 23. Actually, I don't need to do that. I have good cuts on both sides. So 22 11/16. 22 11/16. 8, 9, 10, 11. Right there. Double check my saw. Right to the blade tip. That is on the money. All right. So let's rip that one down. Lower my saw blade, get it out of the way so I can work on my tabletop here. Limited space in the shop, you gotta love it. All right, so let's do this. And there you have it. This is our drawer. Once I get this glued up, nailed together, we should be able to tighten everything up. Looks like we're good. So I don't see any problems with this. Good deal. But that's our drawer. So we'll go ahead and get ready. We'll pull the glue out, get all this marked. I'm gonna make a couple simple marks real quick just to show you another trick. Some people do it, some people don't. Some people, hey, I'm good enough, I don't need to do that. I take a light pencil mark inside, even if it's just as a reference. Doesn't have to be all the way. That way you know this is where your glue is gonna go, okay? It's better to glue each separate board and then put it on than trying to glue all of these edges, then put that board up on there, because your glue is going to run down. Because you can have it glued and lay it up on there and have less runoff, run out, whatever you want to call it. That's how I do it. Everybody's preference is different. It's just something that I do. Keeps me from having more cleanup. So we're going to get busy on this. We'll be right back. And sand these pieces down real quick, just because I want to. Not absolutely necessary, but I just like to do it to keep it nice. So I'm going to get this done real quick, and then we'll get this thing glued up. Get my cord untangled here. There we go. Take a rag real quick and kind of wipe down the sawdust off of the pieces. So if I decide to stain it, at least it's clean. Give me 1 second, get into a rag. All right. That way you don't have dust interfering with your glue up as well. Some say it doesn't matter. Some say it counts. I just take the extra precaution to do it. It always made sense to me. Wipe off my surface. Do I need to fix that? I'm actually going to fix that after I put the drawer together, because it'll be just as easy to do that then as it is right now. I'm waiting on it to dry. So another nifty little trick. I don't know, my brain is different. So when I go to do glue ups and whatnot, I like to have things that will help me hold the pieces as best I can. So what I like to do, long side, short side. So I'm going to take my short side, put it down in here on this table saw. So I have a place that I can clamp up against it right here underneath the table to kind of hold it rigid while I glue and tack nail that in. I do the short sides because they're exactly the same length as the bottom on that side. If I were to do the front and back, then I would have that overhang I'd have to deal with, and I'm guessing at it at that point. So these two, I hope you guys can see that. Let's see if you can see what I'm looking at over here. So yeah, you can see it. We'll get this glued up really quick, tack it into place, and move all the way around the drawer. Get it done. Give me half a second. Okay. My handy dandy little clamps here. Get up here, just hold this steady. Don't need a lot of force, just don't want it moving on me. So whatever situation you have, whether you have a workbench, which is ideal, mine is covered up right now, unfortunately. So in this application, you can glue the edge if you do it this way. Then put this up here, line it up, and nail it down. So today, that's actually what we're going to do. I'm just going to run down the edge of this board, since I'm doing it this way. And remember, you don't have to overdo it, but you want enough. Squeeze out is good. You don't have to have a whole lot running down your board. That just causes a whole lot more cleanup, which I just don't want to have to do personally myself. Okay, which one was it? This way. Get it down here. Wiggle it back and forth a little bit. Get it more stable, where it won't move once I throw a tack in it. Make sure I'm good front to back. At the center of this. That one is done. Move to the other side. Didn't mean to throw that all the way down on the ground like that. Now, do this like so. Like I said, this doesn't have to be super tight. You don't have to, you just don't want it to move on you. Just a little bit of a quarter to eighth of a turn on that clamp, just enough to bite it. All right. Place it down, wiggle it back and forth a little bit. Get your corners lined up, flush both ends. Make sure your middle's good. I always like to tack it in the middle first. That's just my preference. Everybody's different. So if there's a arc to the board or a bow to it, you can flatten it out. That way each end is exactly where it needs to be. You won't have to have one pushing it out the other way. Now from the center out. All the nails are good. And you are going to have nails that pop out. When you do, address them quickly before the glue sets up, and it makes it a tougher fight to get them out of there, because it will become a hassle if you wait too long. So be vigilant about getting to that pretty quick. I actually think I have one. I saw it down here. Actually, that's not a blowout, so I'm good. That's just a piece of wood came up. I can tack that back down. The nail started to come out, but it did not. So we're actually good. So I'm going to flip this to the side. I want to have my pieces even. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flip this around so I have the flat back to it. Open this up a little more. Okay, a little stability there. Now, this is where we'll come on the ends. Come around down the bottom. Another good reason to sand your plywood is if you're running your fingers down the edge of this plywood, you see how it sticks out. You don't want to get a splinter in your hand. Splinters are no fun in any form. Plywood splinters suck big time. You don't want plywood splinters. Alright, a little bit of movement there, get it in, settled. Good. Get my squeeze out that I've got going on real quick here. I like this corner. It's in good alignment. I'm gonna hit this here. Hit that there. Well, they want that clamp, so no big deal. Hit that there. There. All of that's good. Yeah, we're getting good squeeze out, not too much, but definitely squeeze out, so we're good there. All right. Now, I'm not going to worry about the clamps. I've got a flat bottom down there. These sides were pretty much stable. So we'll come across, do this, back down. And we are good. A little bit of wiggle, movement. Let's get it settled in here. Help that glue squeeze out a little bit. one's good. And we're all good. Okay. Now, got our drawer tacked and nailed together. We're going to let that dry up for a bit, let it sit before we work with it anymore. Come back, clean up on the squeeze out. Any squeeze out on the inside, which I don't have a whole lot here. All this looks good. I've got a little up here. I'm going to actually leave that alone, a little here. We'll come back with a pointed corner of a chisel or putty knife or whatever, and we just scrape that right out. No big deal. Let that dry. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. We got this glued up. I went ahead and what you're seeing here with this little piece, I don't know if you can see it very well or not, but I've got it clamped on. That piece that was sticking up from the bottom, that was sticking way out like a thorn on a rose bush. Went ahead and put the glue back down in there, held that down with my fingers and wiped it down and got it to stay in there till I had most of the glue squeezed out of it, and then wiped down with my finger. Brought this back over and clamped this down to help hold that for a few minutes so we can get that where it's not, if you grab under the drawer when you're pulling it open or whatever, this is more than likely going to be at the back. In fact, that will be the back. This will be the front, this will be the back. So I'm not too awful worried about that. But anyway, if you ever pull the drawer completely out and you're handling it, you don't want to catch your fingers on that. So that's the whole reason in doing this. We're fixing to move over to the cabinet, and we're going to install this real quick and get this done. Be right back. Okay, I wanted to give you a close-up on this to show you the drawer guides we already show you were in. These are my Craig drawer guide system clamps, rails, whatever you want to call them. I've had these for the longest time. I have a plate screwed under here to bring this out because of this plate here. This is not normal, but this was done to support this top across here, okay? That's why these are in here to support the edge of that, and I double plied this to support the weight of the saw. So that's the only purpose for these. I cannot remove these. I don't feel confident in enough that this construction through here is going to support that, because this is not up under one solid piece. It just didn't allow me to build it that way when I had the material at the time. So I've had to compromise and do this. So putting these in here builds this out temporarily so I can bring this out for the drawer to sit up on top of here. We can pull these guides out like so, slide those back, have the holes accessible so we can run screws in here and attach it to the drawer where we need it. So that's the whole purpose in these. Now, doesn't have to have a lot, just a little, because the drawer is going to go all the way up against these guides with just maybe a 32nd or 64th of room on each side. More than likely a 32nd, or I'm sorry, a 32nd total, a 64th on each side. So I'm going to get that drawer over here. We're going to slide it up into place and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, hopefully this all goes as planned. I want to leave myself enough room. So this allows me to hold the drawer up with these on each side. Can bring my drawer glides out where I need them. On each side. I know you can't see it, but this helps hold the drawer level. That's what these are for. Is it holds the drawer level all the way back, and they rest on that, so I don't have to worry about this not being in line with the rest of this drawer glide. So when I screw this into here, we should be good to go. It'll go straight back. It's not like it's going to be at an angle like so or tilted down. It's pretty tight tolerance and it has to let it do that. So I want to check my clearance on each side, make sure I'm good. I'm not rubbing anywhere on the top. So I'm happy with that. Want to double check my measurements real fast just to make sure we are as even as possible on this. Oh yeah, we are good. Nice. Okay, sweet. I'm happy with that. We're going to move forward and put these screws in real quick. Here we go. Like this. Get my bit back in here. My screws. I do want to take a measurement real quick. So just to show you, this measurement right here on the end of my square is 1/4 inch. That is how far back the mating surface that bolts to the side of the cabinet inside here, that's where that main rail sits, is 1/4 back from the surface. So what I want to do to make that even is bring these up to the 1/4 inch, and that's where I will screw those in. That way when it goes back, it retracts all the way. It's not uneven on either side. It's the same all the way throughout. All right. Okay. Ah, I like that already. Like it already. Look at that. Oh, I see what's happening. I've got screws down through the top of this in the back. That's not a problem. I'll just show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull this out. Finish putting my screws in here. right, now what we're going to do is we're going to address that little bit with the screws back here. You can see where they're hitting. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I've got a little tip right here that's scraping through right here and right there. I've got a fix for that. I'm going to get my planes and I can just quickly run over the top of that and bring it down just enough to clear. That's all I have to do. In fact, I'm getting my old trusty block plane and we'll take care of that. I'm going to move to my other bench and knock that down real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, quick fix indeed. Not only did I plane the back of the drawer down just a little bit here, took my handy dandy grinder, just run the tips of those screws off. They didn't need to be sticking out anyway. That was something I meant to do long ago and never got to. So yay for today. All right, I'm gonna get this put back in here, pull these out. Nice. And there we go. That is all done. I'll show you what that drawer is actually for. For all my big, huge squares that I have from Woodpecker. They're gonna go right in here. Actually, that one goes there. Framing squares are gonna go over here. All the other three, we're going to find their homes in here as well. Like so. And so. I still have plenty of room for other stuff in this drawer. Say for a square like this. Put that off in here. Right there. That may just live there from now on. So. Other measuring tools that I've had in other drawers, I may put those up here. I don't know yet. We'll see. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell right there. So that's basically what this drawer is for. So now I can get some of that stuff cleared out. And we have that taken care of. So thanks for stopping in today. I appreciate you tuning in and watching and subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video with those that you think might like it. It's very, very much appreciated. All those that actually follow me already, thank you. Thank you so very much. I can't tell you what that means to me. It's not much. I think I've got 13 or 14 subscribers right now, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm probably not exact. But you know what? It's 13 or 14 more than I had a couple months ago. So to me, that's huge. So every day is a step up and a step out. So anyway, I appreciate everybody stopping in today and putting up with me and watching me. Hopefully you learned some things, you got some stuff out of this. Even if you've been doing it for a while, maybe I did something that you haven't done that you go, huh, yeah, that might work. So anyway, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help each other. We're here to share with each other what the knowledge that we have. Try to make life better for each and every one of us. So, be kind to one another. Have a great day. We'll see you next time on Fab and Build. I'm Ron. Talk to you later.